Hi guys, this is your only Jenny Coco Jennifer. I am here because I needed to talk about things that likely you have experienced and likely things that is of general concern. Sorry, one moment please. Okay, so what I want to talk about is of a broad scale. First, I want to say that this video is not a political video. This video is not here to advise anybody on their marital relationship or a legal video or a video to advise you on a relationship, like you married or not. Um, and also this video is for older generation and it's not for children. Um, so I want to talk about things that personally I have experienced and things that immigrants and citizens experience. Kind of relate and go around the cycle and try to figure out what is what. Because sorry, I told you guys my phone has been restricted and that's why I had to go through this medium right now. And bear with me, please, if I kind of I'm not able to say the words I want to say at the right time, but I hope after watching this video, it kind of makes sense to you and you see what I'm trying to say. So, first thing I would like to talk about is tradition. So, when a man and woman, a boy or girl grow up after some certain time, tradition is expected for them to get married after a certain achievement or after a certain level of adulthood. And that has been working for ages. And marriage is not a bed full of roses, and that is, I also think, something that keeps our country together and kind of protect and put some trust in there. But also, now it depends on who you're talking to, who believes in marriage and who doesn't believe in marriage, based on what they have experienced. And I am not here to judge anybody or have anybody judge me either. As you all know, I've told you my story. I have been married before, and marriage is a beautiful thing, and I would like to be married 200 times. Unfortunately, marriage is not a bed full of roses, meaning being married, you have to go through tremendous amount of unfortunate hardships sometimes that aren't supposed to be there, than a regular person who is not even married. And married and having children, sometimes you get more problems than not having to be married and have children. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it all depends on how you see it and how it started. But then on the other hand, I'm someone not married also have their own problems, and it's twice difficult to raise a child or raise a family. Um, being married, sorry, not being married, being a single parent than it is for being married. I hope I'm making some sense, and I hope you see what I'm trying to say. Now that I've gotten that part out, so if I'm looking that way, I'm trying to organize my speech, so to say, and I'm trying to organize what I am saying. And that marriage tends to be grouped under morality and loyalty and respect and you know every good thing that should come our way. Although we don't expect bad things in marriage, but it happens, and we wipe ourselves from the dust and pick ourselves back up and keep on going. Because I know for certain it takes two to make a marriage work. So if only one particular partner is doing all the work, then it doesn't make sense. And I could say that in terms of a man and woman getting married, and then she end up having children for the man, and the man goes to work, come back, and does the traditional stuff. And let's say it's a modern day time. The woman goes to school. She manage the home. She manage children at the same time. It's not easy, but before I digress and go far away from what I'm trying to say, is that it takes a lot to maintain a marriage, and unfortunately, some people are not ready out there to put in the effort. And life is really simple, and life shouldn't be so complicated. But unfortunately, our society and sometimes our system makes it terrible for this simplicity to be achieved. Um, I am an immigrant. I love America. I also love my birth country, Nigeria. If you know my story already, you understand why. Because I was somebody somewhere before I came in here, and was born somewhere first before I came in here. And in terms of having to become integrated here, I have gone through everything and then done everything normal and humanly possible to integrate so that I'm able to confidently speak to you guys. And sorry, and put this all the way down a little bit and let you guys understand my own perspective and how I see things, and probably it's similar with how you see things too. Um, and but in terms of America in general, I know for sure that 80% of the whole US or 80% of most countries in general are made up of immigrants. It's true. It's a fact. It's true. I didn't have to go to university. I didn't have to go to Harvard. Respect, okay, for schools, to be honest. But I didn't have to be that high to understand those little things. And the other things I want to talk about here is that in terms of tradition and marriage, there is the we expect loyalty, we expect respect and kindness, and that's the way it goes for marriage to work, and forgiveness and understanding and etc. Now, I am kind. I would consider myself kind. I have told you guys my experience already. I do not regard myself as a saint, even if I would like to, even if I wanted to claim one. If I say, oh, I could claim one, but I believe only one person is holy, which is God. So I would not put that upon myself and and say rather, sorry, I have never done anything, and I'm holy. But I know I'm kind and I'm respectful, and I consider others, but as well set boundaries to consider myself to so I'll be able to give out to others too. And that is how life in general is supposed to work. Um, like I said, it's not a video to give you a marital lecture because I don't know what you're going through and you don't know what I'm going through. And this video is for adults only of the generation higher there. Um, Now, unfortunately, I want to talk about external forces that push us to do what we do to become who we are and achieve what we want to achieve or not achieve what we want to achieve. So, in terms of marriage or non marital relationship, where there is children involved or where there's no children involved, let's use the regular one we all know, where there is children involved in a marriage or in a relationship with that marriage. External forces, for example, a man and woman is married. And before that, let me go back to this. I'll come back to what I'm saying, and I hope it links and makes sense. Society in general and the world in general regards, it depends on where you live, but that's the total truth. The world in general regard men as 90% of the hierarchy position and women as 10% of the lower position. That being said, decisions go through men first. We women will run the world, but decisions will go toward the men first. The men will be the one to give the orders, and women execute the orders and run the others, just like the house. Um, and this has been going on for generations after generation after generation after generation. It's true. I know you believe that as well. But when we are born as a man, as a boy and a girl. When we are in our mother's womb, that is not set. And then we come out. Same way a boy will come out, the same way a girl will come out. Now, that is a form of equality we will have. But unfortunately, society have made it to the extent where the men are considered more priority and more useful to the society than the women. It's very sad. And if you're going through something out there and you feel that same way, it's sad. But don't let that get you down and try your best and continue moving on and know that God sees what you're doing and know that He'll be there for you and He never leaves those who try their best. Back to base on what I'm saying in terms of a household, being married with children or not being married and having children involved. So now you know that the man's place there by society is called the head of the household. I put a quote there, the head of the household. And for traditional sake, um, I would agree to some certain extent and also disagree to some certain extent. But let's say we put it as it is, as being the man, the head of the household at the point, as it's set by tradition for a purpose, a reason. Okay. So, a man and a woman, they got married. And the man and the woman, so that they have children out of love and the marriage. Sorry, with love involved, bringing the children into the world. Now the children are growing and growing and growing. Some days the man comes from work, his boss is giving him headache. If the woman is taking care of the children and she has maybe a part-time job or some maybe she doesn't have even a job, and then she pours her energy giving her all to the children and taking care of the children in the house. Um, she goes through her own issues. But let's just say the woman is out there, and as the modern day society now have us because things are very expensive, the woman has to go and work and also contributes to the family financially. She's out there working while the man is out there working to provide for the family and the children. As the man is working, I know the least a man will have to go through is go through is probably only being fired for not keeping the rules and regulation. Maybe in terms of he just being defiant and headstrong. That's pretty much it for men, and they can always find a job and they can always survive and go on. That's the truth for men. But for a woman, we go through tremendous challenges at work. Let's say, for example, I am at work, or a woman is at work. She is married, she's doing her work very well. There goes another man looking at her at work, her boss. Could be her boss, could be some of her co workers, could be whoever you admire her and say, oh, I would like to, have this woman. And either I like to get married to you or I like to just have fun, as I said, and just have sex with you, sexual relation with you, no string attached, as I said. And with that way, I can give you a promotion. That way, you can get more benefits at work. That way, you can thrive more at work. And get to the high class hierarchy in work where you click your finger and everything is done just because you are sexually doing sexual favor for your boss or for somebody higher that is there. Let's say you let me use the word, now you know somebody, as you said. Now those are what I'm talking about right now are external factors. Let's say a man or woman being in a relationship, the woman wants to keep her marriage. The woman loves her husband, the woman loves her children. She has little or no choice sometimes to be what's it called? Sometimes wanting to help her husband, wanting to help her family, push herself all the way to have to accept that and have to do that. Now that comes to terms of morality. How would you judge that type of a woman if you are a man that wants respect, a man that wants loyalty? How would you see that woman if you are married to her? How would you see that woman? It's a question for you guys out there to think about. Um, I do not like to judge people. I do not like myself to be judged too. So it's a really difficult situation, to live in this place. This life is simple. I say life is beautiful, but it's boils down to some certain external factors that pushes us to do what we do. And let's say, for example, now you are in this same situation. You are a married woman doing all your best to respect your husband, doing all your best to be kind, doing all your best to be loyal. You're doing all of this right. And then you are living with a person married to a person that does not see those things that you do. Or the devil, so to say, is making the person have a blind eye towards all the things you do. And then it boils down to external factors as for that man to gain what he wants, he ends up punishing the woman sexually, not being attentive to her, sexually, not being caring and loving to her, not touching her, not doing anything with her. Look forward to the children, that's all he looks forward to. He comes home, he acts like the what's it called, the super lord in the house, does what he wants, he get out, and you and the children have to survive, or you have to do what you have to make sure that the children have to eat and not go hungry. Do everything you can. And sometimes you end up having to give yourself what, you get sick, you die young, and leave your poor children, unfortunately. Now, I'm not advising anybody to do that. I'm not advising anybody in any way. But these external factors pushes us to do what we do, and these external factors are what it is that gives us the reason to ask what the truth really is, what morality really is. How does society look at men and women, and how do they grade us women when you women do everything and run the world, so to say, and most times still not being appreciated for what they do? And that fact, it is considered by society domestic violence, abuse. And it's sad to say it is something that when I learned the word, and I sometimes tell myself I wish I don't learn some certain things, so I need to unlearn them, and so that I don't always have to see them everywhere. But I also understand that I'm happy to be educated to know what these things are, to be able to integrate better into other people's culture, society, or whatever you can call them. And domestic violence is so rampant, and I'm not a statistic person, but 90% of the people that 95% of the people that go through domestic violence due to the hierarchy of men being up there is the women, the poor women in our society. And then the women, most times because of that, they always have to go back. They don't have a choice. I mean, there's always a choice, but based on their children, based on the life they live with the person, they end up pushing themselves too much, and they lose touch of reality, lose touch of themselves. Fortunately, I've seen the situation where some women end up having to hurt their own children, having to unfortunately, yes, I say hurt as in kill. Unfortunately, we hear it in the news so much, show so much outrageous things. They end up having to be suicidal, kill themselves for all their children along, and do outrageous things to so to say fight back domestic violence and fight back that particular person causing them that issue. Because it's like this. There's a saying, I don't know if it's really a saying, that you can only push somebody so much. Let's say you push somebody to a wall where there's no coming back. It's just a wall like this, closed wall. The only way to come back is by revising, coming. You push somebody so much that the person doesn't know. The person knows that there is no other way to go out than to come back and fight back. So those external, those things that women go through, or those things that people go through, and they have to be pushed so much. That's where you get that factor that make them fight back and do what they do. Where you see on the news and you cry, and then you cannot just even look at the news anymore. You just try to turn it off. Now, this situation being pushed back to do what you do happens in marriages. It happens in people not even being married to as well and having children. I am going to turn 29 by the end of December. Around December, I was born in December, and I don't have all the knowledge in here. I know. I'm grateful to God that my experience in life makes me able to be able to say things like this. And the experience I've lived, the life I've lived in my birth country, Nigeria, Africa, is what enabled, and here as well, for the 7 years I've lived here, literally, is what is able to make me compare and try to relate and understand and see things beyond what it is and have a, so to say, appropriate view of what it is I see, and not try to let that make me judge others or have others judge me too. So to say, a balanced outlook on life and approach. Um, Domestic violence, as I say, as it is, also is something that men go through too. It's not just only for women. Men go through domestic violence too. But the majority of men that goes through domestic violence in this era from time past to now, they are lesser than women. Based on the fact I said, the hierarchy factor of women having to be the one under while the men are here giving the others. Because let's look at it. Those people that create I respect and appreciate the shelters out there for women with children or women in general. Those ones that try their best really hard. Those ones that solicit money really hard to try to end domestic violence. I appreciate that. But when we look at this whole programs or this whole things out there, or even the government in general, this is not a political video, they try their best to do all this other stuff. I end up having to look at it and say, if everything goes around and around and saying that the men are up there and women here in terms of society, those money that they get, those lobby, those things they get are still collected from men. So think of it this way: if I am collecting something from somebody that is in control, do I have enough power? Do I have enough rights? Do I have enough um, temerity, so to say, to tell you no, stop that bullshit? I will not answer that. It's self-explanatory. But it's sad to see all these things happen, to be honest. And I hope one day this world, we always push for that to be a better place. We always want it better than what it was, but it's going down, down, down every day. But hey, we're gonna live our life, and the next generation is gonna come. Hopefully, we pray for them and hope things always get better for them. That is just a hope and pray. We pray for them. And now I want to talk about. Sorry, one second. I want to talk about in terms of respect, loyalty in marriage cycle and outside the marriage cycle also without being married. If a woman earns a lot of money, she does whatever she does. I don't want to quote and judge anybody out there. Could be me tomorrow, could be you tomorrow. Okay, because life is not as you see it to be today. I cannot predict the future, but what I do today can, oh sorry, can make my future, can make me see my future and know that it's going to be better, that kind of thing. But let's say me or a woman or a man, no, rather a woman out there, she does what she does and she brings in the money, so to say, and you are a man married to her or not married to her, and you are asking for respect, you are asking for loyalty, you are asking for the Lord of the world treatment. It takes a lot for a woman to look at you and feel empathy for you. I'm sorry to say that. Because if we were to look at the way the tradition was made for the man, we were to be what I'm saying, as they are up there to be the one to go out there and bring the money in the hundreds. If we're to go through that role, guess what? A man out there, you out there, if you are one of them, or if you're not even one of them, I'm sorry, don't want to use the word right now, but if a man out there expect respect, loyalty from that type of a woman, you are doomed. And I know, let's say if you want to talk about morality, want about punishment, you want to talk about what is right and wrong, you have no goddamn reason to judge that woman. You have no reason to make her feel bad. It's what the country will consider. It's what will be considered domestic violence if you should do anything harmful to her feelings, to talk to her down, to do anything to her. It is considered domestic violence, and that I agree. But on the other hand, I also agree that the truth is bitter sometimes. But if you look at her, she sometimes doesn't want to do what she's doing and hope you rise up to the occasion and do that. But as the truth is bitter, I would say this: no matter how it's bitter, sometimes telling the truth always saves you your life. I mean, in not every aspect, to be honest, in not every aspect, but we talk about legality, the truth always saves your life. But then that is where I go to things like humanity. I go to things like the what we see is right, so what we see is wrong. What we see is the way as it should be set by the law, so to say. I don't hate the law. I don't hate the police officers. I don't hate the justice system in general. It's unfair what happened. I see too, true. I'm not going to be an activist for anybody, but I am, from what I have seen and what I have experienced in my life, I'm able to confidently say it's unfair what I see out there, and nobody is righteous. And I also know that based on what it is that is set for by the law, um, the police there are therefore set for a reason. Also, they have a reason they are set for there. So it doesn't matter what sometimes you get upset of things you see outrageously happening. But if somebody was to come in my house and try to steal it, I would call the police, you know. If somebody was to come and hurt me or my family, I will get the police over here, you know. So there are reasons why they are set in certain laws and government stuff is set there for good governance and to make sure that things go run in order. That is 100% accurate. Um, Moving on to the um, meat of the whole topic today, I want to put out there is that I, Jennifer, um, being a woman, I would confidently say I, men and women, I don't have anything against men in general, anything against women in general. My heart in there, I don't have anything against them. I'm a woman. I don't have anything against my own kind. Um, Men, I have brothers. I do not see things. I'll have a wicked heart toward men just because I was treated badly at one point, and I'll continue to be treated badly also. And I also have my boundaries and set my boundaries when I see the devil coming in, and I'm able to say no when I have to say no. And that's not being mean, that's not being mean, being wicked. So the meat of the whole um, life things I'm bringing out right now is that what do we consider, especially for immigrants that come in this country, men and women, and we're giving our life to this country. What do we consider really to be domestic violence? As it's a question that you can answer yourself if I have to explain and say what I have to say right now. And thank you very much for having to listen to this and stay so far to get to what I am trying to bring out at the end. And me bringing this at last, it's it means that if you watch it to the end, you are able to see what it is I am trying to talk about. Immigrants, when we come in this country, we have on, let me use the word unprecedented, these unprecedented restrictions. And I know it's set for a reason, and I know certain things are set for a reason for each country. I understand that. But some of these unprecedented restrictions, or some of these hideous restrictions, are not helping at all, to be honest. I am not going to be an advocate for anybody in particular because I have my own small life to live and I'm a small person. I'm not a big person. I'm a small person just managing my own little life as it is, okay? Um, so having said that these restrictions are uncalled for, um, it's it just saddened my heart to see families broken. It saddened my heart to see things not running as the way it should be. It saddened my heart to see all these things happening to immigrants. It's saddened my heart to see things happen like that to citizens here too. Okay, they go through their own hell of time here. They go through a lot too here. I've seen too. But it saddened my heart to see that when somebody is putting in 100% out there as an immigrant, they unfortunately get almost nothing, and are considered to be nothing, unfortunately, until they end up going through hideous process to, so to say, that binds them by the law to cause them problem, so that the law holds them by the neck and have them compelled to a certain lifestyle in terms of restriction and control. It is sad. Um, I'm an immigrant, and I will be a citizen of this country too. I'm not scared to say what I have to say because I've been through a lot, and I am staying by my little corner and doing what I have to do to make life possible into life. And this video is not to be lamenting and say I'm the only one that has a problem, to be honest, because this is rampant out there, and each person has their unique situation that we can relate to, that an immigrant face out there. And I would like to talk about reproduction right and reproduction right for women, reproduction right for men in general. And when I talk about reproduction right, I think it's something everybody should be able to attain because you don't want to bring a child you don't love into this world, you know. And when you bring a child you don't love into this world, there comes heartache, there comes pain, there come all the problems that drive someone crazy, you know. And I wish for everybody to bring a child into this world they love and adore and cherish. Um, Talking about immigrants and production, reproduction rights, domestic violence, everything together, I would say for things that I personally have gone through, I want to say it out there and put it out there and hope the devil, I would ward off the devil continuously and let Satan be a liar and hopefully avoid it certain people as you too should avoid them if you want, but it's not a video to advise you on what to do. So I was once married to my ex-husband. He had two children, two girls. I love those girls a lot. And I tried everything to make a family with them and my ex-husband. And unfortunately, my ex-husband was more intertwined with adult children, basically, so to say. They're, to be honest, almost adult, one of them. Um, I love them. In case one day they see this video, I want them to always know that I always love them. And having to be in the life my of them and trying to make a family, I sacrificed a lot because I came in with open hands. And at the end of the day, I discovered that when I looked at the children, I also know that they likely underneath fed remorse and fed a little bit of anger, knowing that they would have wanted their mother to enjoy the love that me and my ex-husband had. And have the right to talk about step families because I have one parent that had to go through trying times with step family life. That was what brought my heart down to accept them as step families. If not, I had the ability to get someone who didn't have children or anything and start life afresh. So I just accepted and went through it. And I wanted children in the marriage. I longed for it. I told you that I don't know what happened at the long run. I wanted children in the marriage, and I was not sexually active. I don't want you to judge me. This is all my life. This is all my story, and virginity is something I regard have a high standard for in terms of morality because even if it looks like I was a little bit delayed in development in life, so to say, by the people out there that know the rules and regulation of society, that's a story for another time. But I'm proud to be to get married the way I got married, being a virgin, before I end up going through the process. So that when I got married, I didn't see. I saw my period normally, did everything normally. And then, sorry, let me not go astray because I'm not losing my train of thought. I was not sexually active until I got married to my husband, ex-husband, sorry. Use the word ex because it's in the past. I was not sexually active. And for weeks going down to months, I saw no period. I went through sexual education in school to know what is happening to my body. To know that if a woman meets a man sexually, she's not doing anything and there's no protection. I didn't use contraceptive, I didn't use condom, I didn't use nothing. I just let it be. I was pregnant, guys. Okay. I was pregnant. And unfortunately, let me just say this at the I went to the hospital not feeling good and all of that. And I don't know if God just made it that way. I don't know if the test didn't the test was faulty or what. Or God just don't didn't let the test record. But God bear me witness that I know I was pregnant. Because after I saw my period in the hospital, oh my God, it was a period that I've never ever in my entire life seen. Never in my entire life seen. I don't want to become a nurse. I don't chastise nurse, but I know that day particularly. The nurse was telling me, "Hey, why did I end up getting married to someone much older than I am?" She was, maybe I was thinking Karen was consigned, so to say, but I was married and I was happy. It was my life and not theirs. So when I say external factor pushes people to be where they are and what they are, that's the external factor that has been all the way to this path I am in right now. Where society see me as somebody who don't want children, where society see me as someone who hates children when it's a lie, when society see me as a Karen when I'm not a Karen, when society see me as someone that have kindness when kindness is in my heart and a lot of kindness I've given. My husband's children didn't, or my ex-husband in the past, children didn't want children, they want kids. They threw tantrum. I'm talking about kids in their house. They were just throwing tantrums for no reason. It was not me. So I dare anybody in the future that wants to come and attack me or talk to me or diabolically, the devil, so to say, use anybody to come and have the mouth to talk about being an immigrant, why I don't have children, and ask me where are my children, because I will let God be the judge of that person and that case at that point. Because you have not walked my shoe and you have not lived my life. Now, after going through all these things and doing what I have to do, um, sad to say, the man chose his children later on over me, and having to choose his children, I don't mind. I don't mind right now. I said I was hurting. I was bitter, cried for 2 years because that was my life investment, so to say, waiting for the right person. So I dare you ask me if I'm the right one, okay? Because you're waiting for the right person. I dare you ask me if you're a man, if I'm the right one. Um, so I would want at least is to you to see the external factor that forced me to be in the position I am right now, and having to go through the miserable, so to say. I'm not calling it miserable, but having to go through the life I didn't want to be in, that I am now experiencing. If it makes any sense, I do love my life and I like what I do, and I'm okay just managing my own small self. But having to be where I am, so to say, right now was not done by one person alone. It was not done by immigrants. It was done. I know. Let me say I have my thoughts, but I'm looking at it. What thought did I have? I don't know. You be the judge of it. Um, but having to bring this out there to the open to let you know that I just like every normal person and being an immigrant, I don't know what fault you would say I had to let me go through the tremendous stress I have to go through in this country for no reason. And I'll let God be the judge of that because I know that this country should hold to accountability the men out there that do things to women like us. The men that do things to us women. It happens to men too. But they should hold them accountable. And just because you're there in the world, you're a man in a hierarchy position, we women are here. You don't have that temerity to want to tell me how to go about to be produce children by force in terms of reproductive rights when you deny me that right from the first time from the beginning. I don't care if you're a US citizen or the power out there in the world or this thing. I don't. Because on the other hand, when you have experienced what I've experienced, you cannot judging me based on what you think it should be bad tradition. You cannot judge me on why I did not follow the other process. You cannot. You do not know what I had to lose. And then talk about my mother's mother. She is late now. Now I she when she I felt this very hard because I felt like even if I did everything right and did everything by the book that was set out there, that was why in my description I said if you cannot question some certain things that are set by the law or by rule, and it becomes meaningless. If it's a constant out there that you cannot, if it's a constant, I understand. But if it's something that you're looking at that you cannot be able to question, that thing is meaningless. So I I would like to say that I reproductive right that I am having to talk about, it should be something everybody can have. Okay, it's not. I didn't put myself in this shoe. There was a song that said, "You help me put the bottle off the shelf too, didn't you?" So, it is not just a one thing and one-sided eye justice that you open the other eye while you're making your rules and regulations to benefit you yourself only. When the little people that are trying to make sure that you see through life and see through life as beautiful as it's supposed to be, you don't let them see through the life as it's supposed to be. Um, in terms of reproduction, talking about my let me go back there to my things I know I have felt really had. Talked about my mother's mother, my grandmother, um, blood grandmother. Talking about her, I felt it that day she died. I felt like the whole world gathered together that day and hold me down because sorry I'm going to cry like this. I don't know what you believe. I believe in God. I don't believe in spirit. I don't believe in all of that. I respect other people that believe in spirits and respect other people that believe in other form of religion. I respect them and I've integrated enough to be able to relate and see where we all gather and meet. But in this country, God we trust. You go to the court, you swear by the Bible. They made it just as simple as that. When my grandmother was sick, she was brought to my parents' home back there in Nigeria, and Guess where she died in? Just guess. My room. I don't know what other punishment uh, the world wants me to see when I tried everything to do everything as it's supposed to be. I'm not a saint. But my room. The day I heard she died, I was in the um hospital trying to get my teeth cleaned. Uh, I went in there. I want to go through hell just to go able to get my teeth cleaned. And when I went there, and then my mother called me and said she's gone. I took a deep breath in. I screamed. I think I did. I just, I was like, God, God, what do you want me to keep on saying? What do you want me to keep on saying? It just felt like the whole universe, the whole world came together and held me down. It felt like I couldn't move. It felt like they held me down. That's how it felt like. And I'm sorry for crying right now, but the memories that I cannot be. If I talk about them, I cannot explain them more than having to be this emotional. And I remember one lady, a white lady. It could have been a black lady, it could have been a white lady. She came out from nowhere, and then she hugged me. She was like, "What's going on?" I couldn't even say a word. I couldn't even say a word. I couldn't even say a word. And my parents are in here in the country now. Um, also my older brother in the process of coming in here as well. And we're all poor. We're poor of poor origin. But we try our best and do what we have to do. And little sister is here. I'm grateful for my older brother, also welcome. My older brother in Canada just is trying his best too. I sometimes feel like when the songs I listen to, the reason why some people just keep on moving and going is because, especially for the children, those who are married, majority of those who are married, the reason why they keep on moving is because of the children. Because the marriage, you say, it's not a bed full of roses. And I feel like the devil just keep on attacking marriages more than you can think of. Where the stability should be. Because this is it, when the marriage is not stable, the whole country is not stable. Families are not stable. Everything goes south. Things don't function well. So I try my best to say that I would rather marry 200 times than have to live the life of being single or being married with children, not being married and just having children married. Because I respect life. I respect the sacrifices my parents made for me. I respect the cost of the tradition too, even if I am not so traditional as it is. I respect the situation of where I am as a woman. And I hope that you are there as a man, you respect that too. And lastly, this one that pains me the most that I want to talk about right now is that, so after I got the divorce from my husband, and I'm never going back to my ex-husband. I don't want to. Whether history has it or not, maybe history wants to punish my life and let it go south. God forbid, but then I make my life not somebody. If I have to go through more problem in my family just because I don't want to go the way, it's okay too. If I have to cry, it's okay too. But I'm still the one that's going to be at the cost tomorrow. If I marry, if I get a child and the father is not in the child's life, I'm still the one that's going to be at the cost of the pain. Do you understand it? I'm still the one that's gonna be at the pain. That child is gonna be at the pain too. So why give these poor women like me, you, everyone, this hideous rules to go through just to get citizenship? Why? Why do this to us? In relationship and dating, I did not. I'm only open trying to date only a few years back, coming out that I'm being this much open to the world because I've been silent and it looks like my silence is being taken for stupidity and external factors pushing me to have to talk. If not, I'm a very quiet and silent person. So talking of relationship and if I'm gonna be married, if I'm married or if I'm going to remarry or if I'm going to keep on dating for a cause or have a child without marriage or have a child in marriage. It's a lot because the things I have seen and go through I cannot fathom other than feel that society in general, the law in general, makes the men always win and makes them look at us, the women, as crazy. Unfortunately, the man will never recognize himself as crazy. Actually, would put it towards a woman. Society tradition has been from time on. Women were always the crazy one. It's sad to say, I still want to stay in healthcare. Even if I see this tomorrow, it's still fine. I'm not, what's it called? I am not a nurse or doctor yet. But I will do my best and do what I have to do to get there, to stay in healthcare, because it means humanity. It means feeling. Um, I would go on dates. I would try to see how I can be married, remarried, not married, but every time I go and try to, I'm very honest and open and go out and date or be together with someone. Do you know what the heck I go through? And I don't know why US in general or society in general have deemed it fit that they need to punish me with the devil on it. A man will look me in the face and tell me he doesn't want children. He has his children. And what do you want me to be? A slave in the house for you? How will the commitment come together if I don't have children with you? That's the question you should answer. Guys, it's the funny part is this. I have a particular man who I was literally in a legal relationship with. I don't like letting my business out there presently. And you know what? I said, I agree. Okay, let's have children, but let's have children in marriage. Now, I know this man. I wouldn't want my younger generation, any young generation. This shouldn't. This adult. This video is for adults only. So I do not want young people or people who are not of age to be viewing this video. To be honest, because it's not for the faint of heart. I having to be in a legal relationship with somebody to want my children in marriage before I knew the person. I was with this person for what? More than 1 year, so to say. This person would produce semen, this person would ejaculate, this person does everything. Okay? Immediately after the thing was, so to say, legalized, it stopped. It stopped. He said, you know what he told me? He cannot produce anymore. It's not coming out. He cannot produce semen anymore. What type of devilish man is that? Am I going to be your servant or slave for the rest of my life with you? And out there, if I say this, the pretense of domestic violence is going to cover it and say, yes, the man should rule, but punish me inside. I don't like to use people financially. I don't like to be used financially or physically either. For some reason, all of a sudden, you cannot produce semen. Now, if it's a medical reason, we go out there, they should say you have erectile dysfunction. I've seen things I cannot phantom too, okay? But if it's for medical reasons, they should go there and say, hey, you cannot have. They should go and give you you should go and get something that's saying you have erectile dysfunction and it's gonna be that for life. Okay. We took me and this man. We went to the hospital to try to finally say, hey, come on, let's have the child. Let's have it in the marriage together. And guess what? After physical examination the doctor had for this man, physically examining his penis, physically examining, as you know it here, his dick. Nothing is wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with him in order not to have a child. But when we would come home, or when we are where we are, you want to punish me and tell me we cannot have children. I don't know where this devil knocking at the door every time keeps on coming. I don't know. I'm never going back to my ex-husband. I've made my mind, crossed my heart. It's not going to happen. But why would you punish somebody like me that have been so kind to you as well? I'm not begging to have children also. But I've heard myself finally to say, hey, let's do this. You still want to punish me for no reason. And then on top of that one, you don't want even to be physically affectionate. You do not want to even be if the person was like very physically affectionate and you have a vasectomy as it's called. Don't mind my babbling. I'm not saying it right because I'm emotional inside. But if you have that surgically done, I see it and you have record of that being done. I can manage you. I can live life knowing that there's a reason why you cannot produce children with me. And then let's think of how we can bring that money and go do it and have that children if I made life be. And you should bring the whole money instead. Not even me doing it. If I'm bringing 5% of it because you are up there, remember? I'm here in society. That way, if tomorrow you were to want to say, hey, pack in my load based on domestic violence that as it's is confined to, if you say pack my load and go tomorrow with the children, that's not your child because the semen wasn't yours. You're gonna cry for that money you spent because that child is as well as yours because you sweated. You went out there and worked for that money to bring the child out for somebody you love. Now, that's a reasonable option for someone that has surgically had his something done and gotten a vasectomy done. And man, I don't see you as white or black. I don't see as you are the same. Black, white, blue, green, the same. And if surgically you got that done, that's why prove it to me and show me if you want me to continue life with you, whether you have children or you don't have children. because I will not let the devil come in my life and destroy what I try to make out of my little life with having to meet the devilish type of men that I see that would say they just want me to have children and not want to be responsible in marriage with them. I don't even want to have the children before we get married. I don't want that. You love me that much? I think and I believe it should happen the way get married, have the children, live the life. The children are covered. We're going to have problems, fine. But it would be unfair. It would be, how dare you, let me use the word, tell me to have to be in love with you, have a relationship with you, not married to you, and me end up not having my own children with you. And also, it would be unfair for you to tell me that you do not produce semen when you have no medical history saying you have problems down there with your dick or penis. Because guess what? I am not meant to be your slave. I am not meant to be your foot match where you can or your doormat where you can step on and utilize till you're done with and you dispose of. Because you wouldn't want me to do that to you, then why do it to me? I would also say for this reproductive this reason of having to want to say you want respect, you want loyalty as a man, because society make you up there. Trust me, I'd rather be married to a man, and I don't judge those who are gay. I don't judge those because I understand what you go through. But I would say this: if you are up there as a man, me and woman, I'm down here, and you in the life of your life tell me to give you respect, tell me to give you loyalty, tell me to give you my heart, my life to you, when you would not be able to make sacrifices for me, and you and let's say I am having to go all the way and be able to make the little change. So I call the money I make change. Because guess what? After that, you guys are there, right? You're here. So I don't drag with you guys in terms of money. But if you see a woman out there and a man out there, that the man out there and the woman they have children together, and the woman is making her money the way she likes to make her money. In terms of morality, don't you dare judge that woman. Don't you dare judge that woman to give you respect. Don't you dare judge that woman to give you loyalty. If your definition of loyalty and respect, you cannot equate that loyalty and definition respect. You cannot equate that to having to be her sole provider, having to keep her down, having to have to be in a marriage with her. That will make her never like nothing at all. Never make her have to be tempted out there to have sexual relations with other people, with the external factor you giving her problem in the house to push her out there to go do what she does. So if you're one of those men, I don't hate men, I love you guys. I don't hate women, I love you ladies. But if you're one of those men coming toward me and you want to do that, you're looking for that respect, loyalty, and you're looking for to mess up my life, please, in the name of God, the devil is a liar, and he will prove you wrong. Unfortunately, I don't know if you, as an immigrant woman, have to go through this, and then you had to choose the other path because you had to go through this. But I'm just saying this as it is. I'm sorry, I've gone 1 hour plus right now. My phone is restricted. I don't blame all those people using a tin foil to cover their head and making a joke out of it because a lot of craziness is going on out there. And you see me talking in this video is because education is very, very important. To be educated is very important, especially if you are a woman. You need to be educated. If you are a man going to trade school and all the rest, I understand that. But a woman, especially an immigrant coming into this country, please, God, educate our women, please, please, so that they be able to respect themselves. They will be able to live with more confidence. They will be able to live and love and integrate and understand other people. Educate our women, please, because we run the world for you guys, men. Please, please. And they'll be able to get their reproductive right and stick to that person that they love to make our America, the America that everybody dream of. If you've gotten all the way to this part of the video, I want you to know that I appreciate you sticking with me to an hour and approximately 12 minutes. That is gonna be soon. And I'm trying my best to do what I can to make a better life for myself and my family. And I know you are there too, trying to do the same. And I would say, please hang in there. That I understand that external factors make us do what we do, and I cannot be the judge for you or the judge from. You cannot be a judge for me because at the end of the day, I just remember this. It came into me in my head. I just remember this. At the end of the day, we still have to pay the price and the consequences for our actions, no matter what. Because if you say there's no right or no wrong, guess what? If you end up going to steal or a person end up stealing, at the end of the day, when you go to the judge, when you are tried, you end up killing. When you go to the judge, you end up tried. You have consequences to face with that. So when I say there is no right or wrong way, I ask you, what do we really mean? What are they set laws for? Who are they set for? How are they set for? What do we see morality to be? What do we see constant law, constant things that we say that are constant set by tradition? What do we see those things? How do we perceive and define them to know what is right and what is wrong? For you to be the one to judge me, or to be for me to be the one to judge you for what you do. Having said that, guys, I tried my best to study today too, and I just wanted to get this out of my chest for you to know me and come into my space as I let you guys come into my space and understand the reason that push people to do what they do. I hope to live to that 125 years with my friend and family. Though we're crazy, we're fighting, kill ourselves by the devil coming in. Okay? I hope to see them happy. I hope to see you guys happy. And I have a heart that I know would not lead me as I had a heart that I know would bring give kindness out. But also, I would not just let my heart lead alone and use my head as well because consequences are there for every action we make, no matter what. Thank you very much again for staying all the way to the end, and I hope you find this video something you can relate to and good morning, and have a wonderful Monday. Bye bye.